population, 50% are women. But they are facing so many problems, hurdles to survive, to grow, to prosper, to contribute to the growth of the family, society and nation. So we are conducting in this direction the first National Women's Parliament in our country. It is going to be a historical event forever. I am glad that this first National Women's Parliament is being held in Andhra Pradesh government, also Andhra Pradesh State Legislative Assembly, with the cooperation of Maharashtra Institute of Technology, Pune. Women's empowerment is not a new concept. It has long been in our vision and practice. The only limitation is that we could not achieve it because we are not paying much attention. We are not able to achieve to the level of our desired expectations so far. To make further steady strides, we also should be committed together to accord all women a better place of appreciation and dignity.
Women empowerment is very crucial for future. 50% of population all over the world are women. If women are not being respected, women are not being empowered, even development may not be 100%. For all these things, always women has to participate in all walks of life. And also, women we have to respect and also make in all our efforts as we have to do everything. All women will be strengthened financially, socially, and also politically. Then only this momentum will sustain and also justice will be done for women. First time I have brought one bill, 33% reservations in education and also employment. I am very happy. Some of the colleges now in Andhra Pradesh, especially medical and engineering, more than 50% are women students. Because of one decision, after education they are getting excellent jobs. Because of jobs they are earning more money. Because of all these things, now there is no problem of dowry also. All social evils we are able to overcome with women empowerment. And also I am very happy, in Andhra Pradesh we have created one self-help groups by name Dwakra. 8 to 10 women, especially illiterate women and also literate women joined in the organization. As on today, 9 million women are working in this. Roughly 90 lakh women are working under Dwakra.
Today it's a very different, colorful event is taking place because women from across the country and also across the globe, all have assembled here. We are here only to extend support to you. Myself and Chandrababu Naidu and all other males who are sitting in the dais, we have come here to extend our solidarity with you, the women of India. Because there is a man in every woman. Please note, there is a man in every woman. W-M-A-N. So there is a man in every woman also. Because, wo aaye kahan se? Because he came from the womb of the woman. Men came because from the womb of the woman. So there is a man in every woman. Man has to understand this and then cooperate with the woman also. But unfortunately, though woman is the origin of our being, we turn against woman having created a male-centric order. This needs to be changed, and the only way to do so is empower the woman so that they are also equal to man. That is the mission we should all undertake. Why empower the woman? Women across the globe need to be given voice and space, which is due to them because they constitute half of the humanity. Human civilization advanced wandering and hunting communities settled down along water flows, taking to farming. शुरू में जो मेहनत करते थे, पुरुष मेहनत करते थे शारीरिक दृढ़ता के कारण से, इसलिए वो हंटिंग से हमारा सिविलाइजेशन शुरू हो गया। तो उस समय उनका आधिक्यता था। दैट टाइम द पुरुष पीपल वर men were dominating, but afterwards they have diversified into various activities, economic activities, with focus on increasing production and productivity, which has come to be the key driver of economic growth. Over the ages, human relations, including the principles of kinship, got institutionalized on the basis of acquisition and inheritance of property. In this process, women have been deprived of their due share, because after father, then son, then after son, grandson. That's where the problem has started, because that depriving the equal opportunity to women. The first human communities that has come into being lived by hunting, as I told you earlier. As the humanity progressed, new norms of economic activities are taking shape. Gender inequality kept on widening, compassing social, educational, occupational, economic, legal and political systems. As this inequality increased, it began to have an adverse effect on the efficiency of the new economic systems. Today, gender inequality has emerged as the most pressing concern across the world. It is because of subordination of women in all spheres of life that a serious negative consequences. This has resulted in a global demand for empowerment of women. Not only in India, in the entire globe, women are demanding that they should be empowered, they should be given equal opportunity, which is due to them.
Whenever we have some problem, solving that problem through dialogue, then no rule of weapon. So, within this century, I think this world should be world disarmed world. It is possible. In order to disarmament, at the practical level, firstly, we should develop disarmament within our mind or emotion. So in this respect, female have a special role. My own sort of experience. My first teacher about practice of compassion is my mother. My mother never showed angry face, always love. So, the first teacher of my practice of love from my mother. Then all this, the 7 billion human beings, all come from their mother. All received maximum affection from mother. So then, of course, some speaker also mentioned mother, a female. I think very, very kind-minded sort of father, even you see, show maximum affection. You can't give sort of milk. Biologically, we have no such milk. So biologically, female have the sort of, the ability to take care of others. Now scientists say female biologically more sensitive other suffering. So look, human history, most of warriors were male.
Our own school, our own community, we are projects of opportunities. If we get the opportunity, we get the right schooling, we get the right skill, we get the right courage, nothing can stop a girl or a woman from reaching right to the top. Nothing. It's an opportunity, which means we as mothers, we as teachers, we as panchayat leaders, we as MLA leadership, wherever we are, as social activists, wherever we are, if we can create this leadership, this opportunity for our girls, for our young girls, nothing can stop them from reaching the right to the top. My second point, so my first is, how do we create leadership? Second is, how do we use leadership? How do we use leadership? if we use what we get, correctly and then create it and generate it, we will then create more leadership. So we are all product of two kinds of leadership. One, what we get. Second, what we create, what we do with what we get. This is, I think, going to be the game changer. The day we women realize, as mothers, as teachers, as 33% of panchayat leaders, as MLA representatives, as social activists, as educationists, wherever we are, we use leadership and we create leadership. India will change. India will transform if we look at the way we use opportunities and we create opportunities. Third, once we the women, we the people, we the women, we create a new youth which is India's, world's most youthful nation. We create our new youth, a new young boys and girls. How do we create our sons? How do we nurture our sons? How responsible we make them? How conscientious we make them? How brave we make our girls? India will be different. It is a lot in our own hands. Let us take future in our own hands, the way we bring up our boys and girls. So two things. One is what we do with what we have. Second is what we create of our girls and boys, creating a whole new youth generation which grows up to be strongly Indian. Indian of values, India of character, India which is Swachh, India which is educated, India which is skilled. It's all in our hands. Don't wait for others, but work on yourselves, a better youth. So better parents, better teachers, better panchayats, better social leadership, better elected leadership, involving the youth in Swachh Bharat.
Women producing 60 to 80% food play a major role in ensuring food security. Yet, women farmers are often invisible. Women face difficulties in gaining access to capital, resource, land, ownership of productive assets. Women bear an unequal burden of poverty. Women suffer wage discrimination, labor market inequality. Women fall victim to maternal mortality. Women are still victims of violence. It is in this backdrop that we stand here today to discuss and find innovative ways to respond to these current and emerging challenges. We need to comprehend women empowerment is a holistic and a comprehensive concept, encompassing economic, social, legal and political empowerment to end historical marginalization of women in every sector, including political process and representation. In analyzing the role of women in a participatory democracy, let us begin by examining why is it necessary to ensure political empowerment of women. Because economic empowerment gives them the voice, and it is essential to allow that voice to be heard in the corridors of power.
Of gender and other diverse inequalities and intersections affecting women is inadequate to promote real and lasting social and individual change. Consequently, you may agree with me that at the core of feminist leadership is the woman as an individual. In this instance, your sense of self or sense of being as a young woman and how you lead your own self. Yes, of course, you may be Indian in nationality, Tamil or Hindu or Sikh in terms of ethnicity, Buddhist or Muslim or Christian by religion. You may be the daughter of so-and-so and the sister of so-and-so and from this family and so on. You may be a mathematician, a member of the rowing team, an artist, aged between 18 and 21 and so on and so forth. And yes, These associations and affiliations help in forming your core identity. But who are you? Who or what do you want to be? Perhaps you do not have the answers to the above questions yet, or you may only answer these questions in negative. Who or what is it that you do not want to be, or what do you not want to do? No doubt that the negatives may be equally important, especially from an ethical perspective. And I hope that you are able to engage with such questions irrespective of what or who other people want you to be.
Kalpana Chawla, many names come to the mind. Today, modern women is so self-sufficient that she can easily call a superwoman. She can easily call a superwoman because she is having that capacity. And finally, my emotional voice is really knocking me to conclude this speech. I request the social media and all the people over here to help and promote the powerful images of women instead of always painting them as suppressed. All women need is encouragement. All women need is encouragement. And that alone make us to reach at the great heights. That make us to reach at the great heights. My dear, not just the world leaders, not just the politicians, everyone should contribute themselves for the development of the nation. My dear, make our nation shine even more brighter, with many powerful she heroes, with many empowered women, with many accomplished women. And finally, I request to educate at least few surrounding you and be the part of empowered India.
Education is the gateway for success. And if girls don't go to school, if they drop out, that's where half the problem begins. I was in Uttar Pradesh and I was in Punjab covering the elections as a journalist, and I noticed that most politicians barely spoke about women's issues, barely spoke about women's security, didn't speak about how difficult it is for the girls to go to the school, to catch a state transport bus, to walk across fields and attend classes. No, they didn't speak about that because it's not an issue. It's not an issue for the voters, it's not an issue for the politicians, and it's not an issue for women. Why? When they talk about Mahila Suraksha, all they talk about is not being raped. That's as much as they want from our leaders. Unfortunately, we have very little expectation from our legislators, from our leaders. As women, I ask, if you are empowered enough that you have come here and you are attending this conference, I would request you that mentor at least 5 women like you. Give them education, give them backing, give them support, and encourage them to pursue their goals and achieve what you found difficult to achieve. Help them in achieving that.
You have to get up and say, no more. We shall not tolerate violence. We shall not tolerate female feticide. You saw all the data. We shall not tolerate any kind of issue of exploitation, harassment at workplace. We shall not. You have to start to realize your own strength. And especially for the younger women, because I just heard 3 of the younger women speaking here. I heard them saying things. This is the no-nonsense generation of India. The younger women and men are the no-nonsense generation of India, and this is the generation we are looking forward to for bringing the change that we all are looking forward to. I must say that unless young people will start intervening and not being just the silent observers, unless young people will not take the responsibility for change, unless young people will not give that leadership we are looking forward to, this country will remain, as you know, always everybody said that look, unless women are developed, unless women are empowered, unless women get their rights, no nation can develop, no country can develop. So is India. So I feel that in this conference itself, we should resolve, A, that women will really be given the posts and positions of power, not only in panchayat, but from panchayat to parliament. Number 2, no girl will remain uneducated and illiterate. Still every third girl child is illiterate in our country. There is no reason why that should happen. So I feel that there will be no violence. That's my last point. There will be no violence on women. We will not tolerate. We will say no. Women will say no. Young people will say no. All the family, society, people, we shall not tolerate any form of violence against women.
జై తెలంగాణ, జై ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్. ఆనాడు అమరావతి అంటే ఇంద్రుడిది, అపర వైభవంతో తులతూగేదని చెప్పి చెప్పుకుంటూ ఉంటాం. ఇప్పుడు అమరావతి కూడా మరి అంతే వైభవంతో తులతూగాలని చెప్పి నేను మనస్ఫూర్తిగా కోరుకుంటా ఉన్నాను. ఈ ప్రాంగణంలోకి నడిచొస్తా ఉంటే గురజాడ అప్పారావు గారు చెప్పినటువంటి మాట ఒకటి నాకు గుర్తొస్తా ఉన్నది. ఆధునిక స్త్రీ చరిత్రను పునర్లిఖిస్తుంది అని గురజాడ అప్పారావు గారు చెప్పారు. ఈ గడ్డకు సంబంధించినటువంటి భారతదేశం గర్వించదగ్గటువంటి ముద్దు బిడ్డల్లో ఒకరు గురజాడ అప్పారావు గారు. ఈనాడు మనం మహిళలు, మహిళా సాధికారిత అని మాట్లాడుతూ ఉన్నాం, కానీ దాదాపుగా 100 సంవత్సరాల క్రితమే వారు మాట్లాడారు. మాట్లాడడమే కాదు, ఎంతోమంది వితంతువులకు పునర్వివాహం చేసి వారికి జీవితాన్ని ప్రసాదించారు. ఎంతో మందికి చదువు చెప్పించి వారికి మంచి జీవితాన్ని కూడా ప్రసాదించారు. వేర్ వి సీ అ విజిబుల్ ఇన్విజిబుల్ గ్లాస్ సీలింగ్, వి ఆల్వేస్ యాక్సెప్టెడ్ విమెన్ లీడర్షిప్. అంటే మన రక్తంలోనే ఉన్నది, మన చరిత్రలోనే ఉన్నది. ఇప్పుడు ఇందిరాగాంధీ గారి గురించి మనం చెప్తా ఉన్నాం. వారికంటే ముందు రాణి రుద్రమదేవి గారు కావచ్చు, ఝాన్సీ లక్ష్మీబాయి కావచ్చు, ఎందరో మంది మహిళలు. ఇదే గడ్డ మీద మనం మాట్లాడుకుంటే ఆనాడు గాంధీజీ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఇదే విజయవాడలో 100 మంది ఆడబిడ్డలు జైళ్లలోకి వెళ్ళినారు. 100 మంది సహాయ నిరాకరణ ఉద్యమంలో మొత్తం తమ ఒంటి మీద ఉన్న బంగారాన్నంతా ఒలిచి దేశం కోసం ఇచ్చేసినటువంటి పరిస్థితిని మనం చూసాం. అంటే మనకు కొత్త కాదు, లీడర్షిప్ మహిళలకు కొత్త కాదు, దేశం కోసం త్యాగం చేయడం మహిళలకు కొత్త కాదు. కానీ కొత్త విషయాలు ఏంటంటే మహిళల పట్ల పెరుగుతున్న వివక్ష, కొత్త విషయాలు ఏంటంటే మహిళల మీద పెరుగుతున్న హింస. ఇందాక అశోక్ గజపతిరాజు గారు మాట్లాడుతూ ఒక మాట చెప్పారు, మనకు మెంటర్స్ అంటూ వేరే ఎక్కడో లేరు. మన ఇంట్లోనే మన అమ్మమ్మలు, తాతయ్యలు మన రామాయణాలు, మహాభారతాలు, మన అర్థశాస్త్రాలు మనకన్నీ చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి చిట్టిపొట్టి కథల రూపంలో చెప్పి మన పర్సనాలిటీని డెవలప్ చేసినటువంటి సందర్భాన్ని మనం చూసాం. అదే పద్ధతిని, అదే ఒరవడిని కొనసాగిస్తూ ఆయా మన భారత సంస్కృతిలో ఉన్నటువంటి మంచి అంశాలను తీసుకొని కనుక మనం ముందుకెళ్ళగలిగితే బాగుంటుందని నేను భావిస్తూ ఉన్నాను. చాలా మంది మరి చదువులు ఉంటే చాలా అనుకుంటారు, చదువు చాలా అవసరం. కానీ చదువు లేకుండా కూడా జీవితాన్ని చదివినటువంటి మహిళలు మన గ్రామాల్లో చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు. వారందరినీ కూడా మరి పైకి తీసుకొచ్చే విధంగా నిజంగా మనం పనిచేయాల్సి ఉంది. ఎప్పుడైనా ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ గురించి ఆలోచిస్తే నాకు రోషమ్మ గారు గుర్తొస్తారు. మద్యపాన నిషేధం కోసం చాలా పెద్ద ఎత్తున చదువు రానటువంటి ఎంతో మంది మహిళలు కూడా తీసుకొని గ్రామాల్లో ఉద్యమం చేసినటువంటి మహిళ. మరి వారి స్ఫూర్తితోని మనందరం కూడా నాయకత్వ పటిమను మరి ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్లాలని నేను కోరుకుంటూ, జనరల్గా మన ఇళ్లలో ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే మన నాన్నలు చెప్తా ఉంటారు, మా భార్య మహారాణి, మా ఇంటికే మహారాణి అని చెప్తారు. ఇంటికే మహారాణి అని చెప్పినామా లాస్ట్కి వంటింటికి మహారాణి అవుతుంది. సరే వంటింటికి మహారాణి కదా, మరి వంటిల్లంతా మనదే అనుకొని వంటింట్లోకి వెళ్తే వంటింట్లో ఉండే పాత్రల మీద కూడా నాన్న పేరే కనపడుతుంది తప్ప అమ్మ పేరు ఎక్కడ కనపడదు. ఏనాడైతే అది కొద్దో గొప్ప మారుతుందో తప్పకుండా మహిళా సాధికారితకి మనం బాటలు వేసిన వాళ్ళం అవుతామని చెప్పి